used to cry with clenched fists, asking why you left. Every question burned my chest like I was owed your best. But time did something gentle, it didn't erase the pain. It taught me how to sit with it without calling it blame. I don't need to hate you now or rewrite what we were. Some loves just don't survive, even when they're sincere. I stopped fighting the ending, stopped begging it to change. I let the hurt speak softly, and it lost its rage. Not all wounds need a war, some just need space. I learned to hurt without anger, to feel without attack. I don't curse your name anymore, or wish you'd come back. I loved you in the best way I knew, even when it fell apart. I learned to hurt without anger, and that's the hardest part. I forgave you quietly, not for you, for me. I deserved a heart at peace, not a life on repeat. I don't pretend it didn't hurt, or that it didn't last. I just don't let the pain decide who I am now. Strength isn't being unscarred, it's learning how to stand without turning heartbreak into a weapon in your hands. I learned to hurt without anger, without closing my heart. I let the sadness pass through me instead of tearing me apart. I learned to hurt without anger, and I finally feel free. I don't need your apology to choose peace for me. You were part of my story, but not the final art. I learned to hurt without anger and kept my heart. I'm still gentle, and I survived. Between the words, between the lines, I loved you quietly. In every silence, every space where your heart couldn't see, I held your gaze without a sound, felt every fleeting touch. I loved you in the pause, the breath, the moments that meant so much. When time stood still, I lingered there, hoping you'd feel the same. but love can hide in shadows and leave a quiet flame. I whispered in my mind to you the things I couldn't say. I loved you in the pause, the space where you had slipped away. I thought you'd know my heart, even in the quiet moments. I loved you in the pause when the world didn't see. In every silence, every glance, you were still with me. I held your heart in whispers when the noise went away. I loved you in the pause, and I still love you today. I remember every quiet night, every breath between your lips. I loved you in the pauses, every soft eclipse. Though you may never know the depth of what I gave, I loved you in the pause, even when I couldn't save. Some love lives in the spaces, the stillness, the unseen. It's soft, it's slow, it lingers in every in-between. I loved you in the pause where no one else could see. In every silence, every glance, you were still with me. I held your heart in whispers even when you strayed away. I loved you in the pause, and I will love you always. And in the quiet, I love you still. I held on longer than I should, kept you close, kept you in my hood. Every moment I gave my all, even when I started to fall. I whispered love into the dark, hoping it would leave a mark. But every time I gave my heart, it slipped away, tore me apart. I stayed when the nights were cold, when your silence felt so bold. I gave my strength, my hope, my fire, kept loving past my own desire. Every smile I shared with you was a mask to hide the truth. My hands were empty, my eyes were dry, but still I tried, still I tried. I thought love meant giving all, even if I'd lose it in the fall. I stayed until I was empty, every tear, every scar. I loved until my soul felt hollow, chased a light that's far. I gave my all and more, even when it tore. I stayed until I was empty, and you never saw my war. I replay the nights I spent awake, holding dreams that you would take. I learned that love can drain a soul, even when it's meant to console. I'll rebuild, I'll find my way, but I'll never forget the days I stayed too long. I gave too much, and now I know I'll keep in touch. Some hearts give without return, some hearts wait and always burn. I'll honor what I gave to you, even though you never knew. I stayed until I was empty, every tear, every scar. I loved until my soul felt hollow, chased a light that's far. I gave my all and more, even when it tore. I stayed until I was empty, and I've learned what love is for. I'll rise again, even if empty now. I saw the cracks in your eyes, heard the quiet that said goodbye, but I stayed thinking love would fix the pieces I couldn't mix. I gave my all, ignored the doubt, hoped our hearts would figure out. But love isn't always brave, sometimes it leaves what we crave. I held your hand through storms we made, smiled when the colors started to fade. I ignored the pull to let go, believed in a future you didn't show. I stayed too long in borrowed light, forgot to guard my own fight. The nights were heavy, the days unclear, still I stayed, hoping you'd be near. I thought patience would save us, but patience alone can't hold love. I stayed when I should have run, chased shadows in the sun. I gave my heart to someone gone, believed in a love that was done. I stayed when I should have run, held on to what slipped away. Learned and not let my heart decay. I replayed the signs I missed, the words that hid behind your lips. I tried to make your silence mine, hoping time would realign. Now I see the choice I made, the price of staying in the shade. I won't regret, but I will see the strength it took to set me free. Some loves are meant to last, some hearts need a different path. I stayed too long, but now I know to protect the path that grows. I stayed when I should have run, but I survived the night. I walk into the morning sun with a heart ready to fight. I stayed when I should have run, but now I finally see love begins when you protect the one you are meant to be. I stayed, I learned, I rise. I stayed beyond the words you said, beyond the silence, beyond the dread. I held on to what might have been, even when the end had already seen. I watched your eyes avoid my gaze, felt your love slip through the haze. I waited past the truth, past the lies, hoping you'd stay before our goodbyes. The nights were long, the shadows deep. I whispered promises I couldn't keep. Every heartbeat a quiet plea for the love I thought was meant for me. I clung to moments, fragile, thin, trying to fight what I couldn't win. I held the hope that we could mend, but every path led to the end. I thought if I stayed a little more, you'd see my heart open the door. I waited past the truth, even when my soul knew the love I gave, the tears I cried, couldn't hold you by my side. I stayed too long, I stayed too near, through every doubt, through every fear. I waited past the truth, and I'm learning to let you go. I'll remember the warmth of your hand, the fleeting moments I didn't understand. The love can't fade, the hearts can't part. I'll carry yours inside my heart. I'll find my peace, I'll find my way, even if the nights still replay. The love I held beyond the line will teach me how to heal in time. Some hearts drift, some hearts run, some love fades with the sun. true, even though I waited past the truth. I waited past the truth, even when my soul knew the love I gave, the tears I cried, couldn't hold you by my side. I stayed too long, I stayed too near, through every doubt, through every fear. I waited past the truth, and all lies beyond you. Quietly, I move on. Gently, I'll be strong. I walked away, but my heart stayed in the shadows of your name. I tried to leave, tried to be brave, but nothing felt the same. I saw your face in every crowd, heard your voice in every song. The world moved on, but my heart remained, holding on for far too long. I whispered to the empty room, hoping you'd hear me there. The echo of your absence hung heavy in the air. I kept the pieces you left behind, carefully like glass. Every memory, every touch still lingers as I pass. I thought I could move forward, but love doesn't always leave. My heart stayed after you, even when I tried to go. It whispered all your secrets, only I could know. I held the love that faded, kept it in my chest. My heart stayed after you, even when you left. I replay the nights we shared, every laugh, every tear. I held hope that you might come back, but I knew you weren't near. I'll keep the lessons, the warmth, the pain, but I won't forget the cost. My heart stayed after you, even when I thought it was lost. Some love doesn't leave gently, some hearts remain behind. Even when the soul walks away, the heart is slow to find. My heart stayed after you, even when the world moved on. into your hands, hoping you'd understand every word, every gentle touch, every little thing I love so much. But love, it seems, has its own way. Some hearts don't choose to stay. I gave my all, I gave my time, but yours didn't match mine. Whispered hopes into the night, prayed you'd see my light, but empty echoes came instead, and dreams of us quietly bled. I stayed awake, I stayed too long, humming our forgotten song. My love had no return, yet I kept the fire that burned. I thought love was meant to bloom, but some hearts stay in the gloom. My love had no return, it fell like silent rain. I gave my soul, I gave my heart, but you left only pain. I held the warmth, I held the trust, even when it burned. My love had no return, and yet I've learned I'll cherish what I gave to you, the beauty that was true. But now I'll guard my tender heart and slowly make a new start. I'll let the nights be mine alone, I'll build a place to call my own. Though love once flew and never stayed, my heart will find its way. Unreturned love can still teach the way to reach for someone who will see the gift you gave so freely. My love had no return, it fell like silent rain. I gave my soul, I gave my heart, but you left only pain. I held the warmth, I held the trust, even when it burned. My love had no return, but I'll live and learn I'll love again. But this time I'll be seen. The nights used to say your name like a habit I couldn't break. Every shadow held your shape, every silence felt awake. I'd lie still, counting time, listening for ghosts of you. But the dark feels different now, it doesn't call you through. Your name once lived in every thought, like a song on endless repeat. Now it slips my mind sometimes, like footsteps down an empty street. I don't reach for my phone anymore, don't rehearse what I'd say. The pain still visits now and then, but it doesn't stay. I never thought forgetting could feel this slow and kind. My nights forgot your name, Kept a space for you so long, didn't know it was closing in. I mistook holding on for love and survival for a win. Now the moon feels less like grief, more like quiet company. I still miss what never was, but it doesn't own me. Healing isn't sudden light, it's when the dark feels safe, when the memories lose their teeth, when your heart forgives the weight. My nights forgot your name, but I remember myself. I learned how to breathe again without needing someone else. You're a chapter, not a home, a truth I finally claim. My nights forgot your and I sleep just fine. I watch the light dim in your eyes, silent goodbyes beneath the skies. Every word you left unsaid felt like shadows on my bed. I reached for you, but you stayed away, letting me drift, letting me sway. I gave my all, I gave my time, but your love faded without a sign. I carried hope in trembling hands, but it slipped through like grains of sand. You didn't fight, you didn't stay, you let my heart quietly fray. Every smile I wore, every tear fell in silence, no one near. I learned to love in hidden ways, even as you turned to gray. I thought love could bend, could survive, but you let it fade, we couldn't thrive. You let me fade quietly, no words, no fight, just gone. I held my heart so tenderly, but you moved on. I stayed where our shadows grew, hoping somehow to reach you. You let me fade quietly, and I learned to let go of you. I'll remember the warmth we shared, the whispered dreams, the times we cared. Though you vanished without a trace, I'll keep the love that time can erase. I'll rise from ashes, I'll find my way. Even if my heart still sways, I'll carry hope, I'll carry light, even through the longest night. Some love fades in silence, some hearts drift without defiance. I'll honor all I held for you, even as I start anew. me close, but not too tight. Smiled at me like it was right. Your touch was warm, but your eyes betrayed. The love you had was already on its way. You whispered words I wanted to hear, but every phrase hid a disappearing tear. I stayed in your arms, pretending it's fine, even though I felt the line. You love me like a goodbye, a soft kiss that didn't try, a fleeting presence, a borrowed heart that was never mine from the start. I memorized the way you left, the gentle push, the quiet theft. I cried in secret, but you didn't see how much your leaving cost me. I thought love was meant to stay, but yours was a passing day. You loved me like a goodbye, touched my soul and waved farewell. I gave you all of me inside, but you never meant to dwell. Your love was gentle, but it's gone, a lesson wrapped in pain. You love me like a goodbye, and I'm learning to love again. I replay the nights of our last smiles, counted the distance in miles. I wanted more, but you held less, left me with quiet distress. Now I understand the part you played, and why love can softly fade. I'll hold the memory, not the pain, and open my heart again.